Does she have it going on?
No, although she was cool though. She was cool. Stacey's mom has got it going on. Yeah, I got it. I got it when you said it.
I got it. Sweet.
Is we gonna start with this?
Yeah, we're just gonna let it roll, and then I'll just cut the part like separate, and then we'll talk about it. You guys know your articles?
I
don't. I was slacker this week, unfortunately.
Slacker.
Oh,
yeah.
slacker. Shame. It's okay. You want to start us off?
What do you got?
Overwatch, glory and honor.
Just one?
Well, also was gonna talk
How am I
about
doing all the work?
Corey Haim touching people. Corey Haim being touched. One of them.
Oh yeah, did we talked about Kevin Spacey last week? Right?
We did, but now there's this thing with
did.
Charlie Sheen. There's this thing.
Oh my god, everyone just got sexually harassed throughout like 2,000 years.
You know, well, actually, yeah. Well, it's Hollywood. This is shit that we all well know.
Yeah.
But it's just now
if you
coming
go
out.
okay, first of all, this is not a main podcast, but if you go to Hollywood thinking you're not gonna suck somebody's dick to get famous, you're wrong.
I don't know. Now with the way things are going, and this is something we should talk about in the proper podcast. The way things are going now.
Bonus scene.
Yeah, for the way things are going now, things might change, and I'm hoping
Dude,
it does.
the thing is, will never change. I mean,
Reveal the corruption and then scorch it. Scorch it with a light.
how's that been going?
You know what's gonna happen? I'll tell you exactly what's gonna happen. This is the trend right now. Whatever's gonna trump this, ironically,
Yeah.
right? Is whatever's gonna trump this sexual harassment trend. People are gonna forget.
Yeah.
And it's gonna
Possibly.
It's gonna die back down. The dirtbags will still be dirtbags. It's just gonna go full circle.
But the thing is, there's at least a little bit of hope involved here because this is all shit that has come out before in the past. Corey Feldman or Corey Haim, whichever one's alive, they've talked about this before. This is a well-known thing. Disney executives, it's well known that a lot of the Disney kids got bodied the fuck up. Justin Timberlake sucked some balls. I'm just saying. Fucking, there's this prostitute who came out with two tell-all books, and she talked about everybody, dude. And yet nobody cared about it. Like there were certain executives.
It's not on social media. That's why.
Well, this is back in the '80s when
Yeah.
But
when
dude,
the book came out.
it's gonna start over again. Even if we did, for whatever reason, got rid of all the corruption and filth in Hollywood,
But also the shit that happened.
and we had new people in there. There's auditions going on. Who's gonna say if the guy or girl who really wants a part listen, I'll do some sexual favors?
The casting couch
starts all over again.
See, I agree that the casting couch will probably remain a mainstay of Hollywood forever. The casting couch is a time-honored method to get ahead by giving head. So I'm just saying.
Not saying that it will, but
I just hope that's. And that's the thing. It's more. I'm not saying it's a fact. I'm not saying that this is going to happen. It's more or less a hope. And I hate to even use that word because y'all know I'm a cynic. I'm a pessimist. But at the same time, there's got to be a. What was that? There's got to be an area where I got to have at least a little hope. You know
that was
what
a little burp. Sorry, I apologize.
Oh, I thought you were.
I wasn't scoffing at you, no.
Scoffing, yeah, that's the word.
Yeah, but
you scoff me.
There's a reason why history repeats itself.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And slime sells. Corruption sells. These make people money. The grime and the slime has always made money, and they'll always be there.
I mean, not everyone with money is a dickbag, but
I think everybody with money is a
hopefully soon
bag of
we'll all
dicks.
have monies,
A bag of
and
dicks.
we'll have our bag of
I can't
dicks.
wait till I have a bag of money. So
I know.
A huge dick. I cannot wait.
Nigga, you already have no neck. You look like one massive shaft with a head.
That's a bag of dicks.
You already look like an uncircumcised dick, my nigga.
with $100 bills.
I pays the
That's
bills.
how you silence people. Just stop
Yeah.
doing water.
$1,000 bills.
Bitch!
Yeah, be quiet. Knock you out.
Would I ever, I do have some rock and roll dreams. Y'all know I got music on the side. I would love to do Skeet Row, which I've talked to you guys about before, right? You got 12 groupies, titties to titties, just nipples to nipples down in a row, with 13th at the end, while 2 more jerk you off, and whoever you hit. The whole point is to hit the 13th one at the end, but whoever you hit,
That's
it's
a
all
lot
a
of
good
work.
time. Oh, hell no. I'd probably come quick at something like that, I'm just saying. But my second
It
rock
would
and
get
roll dream...
progressively harder as you go.
Actually, yeah. My second rock and roll dream... Oh, I would only fire one salvo. Fuck that shit. I'm taking a bath after that shit. But my second rock and roll dream is to burn down a hotel room and get away with it, so...
Oh, yeah.
And it's not even like I burn down the hotel. No, just the hotel room, just and run.
Get so famous that your destruction, it's just like,
Yeah.
it's like a tourist trap.
Oh, it's just Jay. That's just JDW, Conqueror of Hell and Pearl of Heaven. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah. So that's some rock and roll dreams for you.
Okay, we're ready?
Let's do it.
Alright.
Are we official?
Alright, what are we gonna do first?
Well, somebody intro us. It's usually
I'm gonna
you.
intro.
Intro us, nigga.
Well, are we gonna do this one first?
Do you want to start with that one?
Yeah.
We should, because we... loot boxes, DLC is a
I feel
major...
like I've been ranting about loot boxes like an old ass man.
But it's because there's some shit going down with loot boxes. It's terrible culture. Let's start recording.
Hi, folks. Welcome back to another week of GQAzndood podcast.
Episode 3, isn't it?
No, it's actually episode 2 because the first episode's 0.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's a pilot episode.
I have issues.
Another week of gaming news, politics, and business insiders.
Lad culture.
Lack of thereof, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
Proper lad culture, we should put it like that.
I am your host, GQAzndood. I'm here with ThatBastard
From everywhere. Oh my god. Do you mean that bastard from the Hooligans? That bastard from representing JDW, Conquer Vale, Prelate of Heaven, of Anubis Unit? Do you mean that bastard of Thomas Duder, author of The Things? Or do you mean that bastard who is becoming a day trader in cryptocurrency?
So, Jack of all trades, master of none.
I'm master of all trades, jacking off on all of them.
on everyone.
On everyone.
All right, and to my right is Zephyl.
Yep. And I don't have a fancy title like that bastard over there.
Man, I got
but
so
I'll
many
get one
names.
eventually.
Yeah, we're working on it.
Yeah.
I'm worse than the devil from Devil's Advocate. I just have so many names now, dude. It's getting worse.
All right. Well, how was everybody's week? I mean, it's been a week since we did another podcast. How are you guys doing good?
Been fantastic. It feels like it's flying by.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but I feel like some years days fly by, and some years days just grind. You know, and this is one of the years.
That's probably because the days are getting shorter.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, perception-wise, I feel like there are some years where they go by slow, and some years where they just fly by.
You know, that's called old age.
I guess so.
Well, it's perspective and perception,
Right.
you know. I mean, plus you have kids,
Yeah,
so you know, I'm
that's
starting.
true.
Yeah, for you, it's just like it's been 10 years. Oh my God, they're already rebelling, you know. I mean,
Well, you know, and that's why we're here. We're here on a magical journey.
Yeah, on a magic carpet ride.
Entertainment and podcast, because I feel like, you know, everyone here in this room, we're on a 9-to-5 grind. We're trying to change it up.
Yeah.
You know, so this is something that we're all passionate about, and hopefully you guys are enjoying the show and support us. You know,
Please.
support us on Patreon. Or just to like and share and subscribe in the channel. That would be awesome. That's all we don't really... The money thing is optional, but it's nice.
You know what? Tell your party-ass friends about us. Bring them all to us.
Yeah.
And we'll let them
Party-ass friends.
Party-ass
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah.
That's actually that bastard's threatening you guys.
Yeah.
Give us your money. No, I'm kidding.
Give us your Earth monies.
Okay, well, let's start off with some video game news. You saw a really cool Blizzard video, right?
So, I don't know if y'all remember Team Fortress 2, you know, I know it's now Hat Fortress, but, you know, Team Fortress 2. And they did all the character videos, and now we're getting the same treatment from Overwatch, which is good, because, you know, over waifu is best waifu. They also revealed a new character, which I should have also talked about in our pre-meeting, Moira, the talent... Moira. How do you say her name?
Moira.
I always call
she's Irish.
I called her Moria for some reason.
Moria?
Yeah, I don't know why.
The Minds of Moria.
All I know is that,
Exactly.
character-wise, I love what they're doing, and as always, the community is toxic as fuck. I don't mean the normal community. Sorry. I don't mean the normal community. I mean, like, the people who complain about stuff. Like, Tumblr has lost their minds. Oh, another white woman, and now they're all trying to say, oh, well, let her just be a transgender. It's like, why? Just let her be.
I thought that was just Tumblr in general. Like,
Yeah,
that is Tumblr in general, yeah.
You just go and Tumblr just to complain about random shit with no relevance at all with anything.
Yeah. Now, admittedly, there are some games where you find out, oh, this character is honestly transgender. Cool, they were doing that back in the 80s, and no one's ever talked about that until now. Cool. But to try and force it, man, kick back, fool.
Like, I never understood that. Like, if I don't care if the protagonist, whatever gender the protagonist is, as long as the story is good and the game is fun, that's all I care about.
I'll say this much. I'll say this much in defense of it. It's because it's like what we said earlier, perception. You know, how many... And trust me, you already have a list of names in your head of cishet, I will use that term, not radically, cishet, rock hard, frickin' almost homoerotic, white action heroes are there, male at that. You know, you already have a bunch of names in your head, from
Duke
Conan
Nukem.
to Duke Nukem.
All the 300 Spartans.
All the 300 Spartans. But I'm just saying, how many transgender action stars are there? How many female action stars are there? Not a lot. And even less transgenders. So I can understand wanting to be represented more in media.
I could see that too.
But at the same time, kick back off of Moira. She's cool. Talon side finally got a fucking healer. Let him enjoy it.
I mean, the thing is, you gotta think about it this way. Like, I think it's a lot more believable. You know, I know there's a bunch of distance for that. If you have, like I say, an army of 300 guys taking out an army compared to like an army of 300 girls. Not saying that they can't do it, but it's like,
Well, Amazons.
you know, I mean, like that could be a different story. Like that.
I mean,
But
basically that'd be the only. And plus, in history, that's the only ones that I know of personally. That's the parallel to 300 was a small group of Amazons could hold the same area.
There would be a really cool video game or like a movie. I'm not sure if they've done it as a movie, but there's this one Russian girl who was an excellent sniper, I believe, during World War II.
I think I know.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
I guess like her family and her husband got killed or something like that, and she wanted to go on like a revenge rampage.
Yeah,
and she was one of the best snipers out there.
Well, right now, we actually have an analog to that, just from the Afghanistan-Iraq war, whichever one we're on right now, I don't know. But there's there's this chick who basically counted coup on like 300 or 700 heads. Like, she's just anti-ISIS. She hates these people, like, so much, and she is feared
I think everybody
by
hates.
these people.
I think everybody hates ISIS. You know, unless you're ISIS. But then again, you might hate ISIS if you're ISIS. So,
or if you're Hillary Clinton, who sold weapons to them.
We're getting derailed on the topic.
Derailed!
Yeah.
So, what were we talking about?
So we're talking about Moira.
So, and I wasn't even talking about that, but that's what started. So, yeah, we got a new healer on the talent side, which is great.
She's a DPS healer.
Yeah, she's the kind who literally sucks life out of other people.
She's like a combination of like 5 characters.
Yeah.
Her main healing is like a spray like Mei.
Oh, and her ult is a Kamehameha.
Yeah,
it's great. Tell me more.
It's like hyper beam.
Did you say spray or squirt?
She also has an orb that that bounces on walls like what do you call this? Hanzo.
Scatter arrows?
But it's like Symmetra's orb.
Okay.
Yeah, Symmetra.
It doesn't go through walls, it actually bounces off, and if you're near it and you're a bad guy, it actually absorbs your health.
Yeah.
Yeah, initially
there's actually 2 versions of it. You have a healing orb and a damage orb. So you could switch between both of them.
Which is, I mean, that's for Talon, that's perfect if you ask me.
Yeah, she's like 5 characters in one.
Yeah. But she works. And even better, we now have a true Dark Mercy to go up against Mercy. I mean,
it's literally the design trope or design system of like making new characters.
Yeah.
You'll have your like set of usually like 5 of like main tank, main DPS.
But then you have combinations
afterwards.
Hybrids.
As characters come out, there'll be hybrids of characters. So
except for Doomfist. Doomfist came out and all the Doomfist on Tracer jokes and porn.
Doomfist is like Reinhardt and Winston at the same time.
He's Black Reinhardt.
With DK Matumbo.
DK Matumbo.
And Genji. He's giant black Genji.
He's a giant black Genji, DK Matumbo. But you know what
not
started
in my house.
Not in my No, not in my house. But what started this conversation was actually the video. So, Glory and Honor dropped, which is Reinhardt's video, and it is glorious. It goes over how Reinhardt came to get his scar, how he is, how he used to be a real crackjack hotshot, out in the front lines.
He was a dick, too. He was a
young type, a young dick. But, but the whole point was, really, Torbjorn's daughter is his apprentice, and she's hot as hell. So,
I didn't even know that.
If you like some
I thought
big
it was
girls,
Reinhardt's daughter.
No. That's Torbjorn's eldest.
So, like, what you're saying is she could potentially be another character,
which a lot of people want.
Yeah. You know, another character that's surprisingly pretty popular that we haven't seen a lot of was the Queen of Junkertown.
I haven't really seen it.
If you watch like the Roadhog and Junkrat,
I actually haven't, and I need to.
There's a big community uproar that they wanted to say the Queen.
What does she look like?
We'll have to look it up. Yeah. We'll just have to look it up.
As we talk.
She's a combination of Roadhog and
but
Junkrat.
when it comes to Overwatch, it's not like I play. I will point blank admit publicly, I don't play Overwatch. I would if I had the system for it.
You like the idea.
I like the characters and I like the storyline.
Yeah.
I like the stories behind the characters. Mei is Bae. I don't care.
So,
I don't care. I would go interracial so quick for her.
I find this very interesting because you said you like the characters in the storyline.
Yeah.
But the game has no single player story.
Well, no single player story, but the stories behind each character.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but like there are games out there that do have storylines that are not great.
But that also shows you the power of truly character-driven gameplay, though.
Narrative.
Oh, I remember there being some serious freaking some heat behind that.
She would be like, you know what she would be really cool as if she was a combination of Roadhog and McCree.
Yeah, so pretty much like she looks like she belongs in like the Mad Max universe.
Yeah. Well, that's the entirety of Junkrat and Roadhog.
Because they nuke Australia.
Welcome to the apocalypse.
So anyway, more about the video.
So it pretty much just goes over Reinhardt's history and how he became Reinhardt and how he got back into Overwatch. That's how he got back into it when he had to enter the call. And it's great. It is so glorious. You'd have to Glory and Honor. Check it out. Highly suggestible. It's on YouTube. Everyone's got their version up. Just check it out. You'll like it.
It's probably one of the better ones to date, and it's actually one of the darker ones too, because it actually has like a somewhat of a sad ending.
Well, it's the point of the phrase "glory and honor" to begin with.
But at the same time, though, like I didn't know which one I liked better, because like I really like the Doomfist one.
Doomfist was the anime one.
Yeah, that was very nice too. But the other one was very good too. So like I'm kind of curious as to how they design like their character trailers, because like I feel like the art style and
follows them.
The art style and everything like changes per character. So I wonder if we'll see like a variation of.
Well, and also let's not forget though that where each character comes from is an incredibly individualistic, culture. Each one of them comes from a distinct culture.
So Moira's Irish.
Yeah, Moira's Irish. So we're probably going to get like potatoes and bagpipes in the background. But I'm just saying, Orisa, Doomfist especially, it was very warlord. It was very
Doomfist is not
warlord.
part of Talon, right?
He is.
He's the guy who leads Talon. He's
the leader of Talon?
Yeah.
I don't think Talon has a leader. Like they have like a council.
Yeah. And if you look at Moira's some of Moira's art has the same guy from who? I just now remembered it. There's this big to-do right now that there might be a guy that's a double agent that he's working for both Talon and Overwatch, and he's in the art style for both of them. When they did the big reveal for Doomfist and Moira and somebody else in this photo, it's the same guy.
Interesting.
So yeah, I'll have to re-look that up later on, but I just now remembered that. So. Glory and Honor is out. Go take a look at it. If you haven't already, probably if you're listening to this podcast, you have.
Yeah.
But go check it out again, because Torbjorn's daughter, I want to call you daddy myself.
Good, delicious.
Yummy.
Speaking of Overwatch, God, here we are again with more loot box news. Or as the industry is trying to call it, when I say industry, starting with, was that Take-Two?
Take-Two.
Take-Two. If you guys don't know who Take-Two Games are, they are the guys that published Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah. Rockstar made the game, but Take-Two is pretty much the money pusher. Like, hey, you want to make this game, Rockstar? All right, we'll give you some money. Take-Two will give them some money to make it. Which is great because they're swimming in money right now.
I'm sure
they're probably wiping their asses with $1 bills. I'm just like, I'm saying.
I'm gonna up that probably $100 bills.
How much they make so much money on GTA 5.
Don't forget, when you make enough money, then you no longer use American fiat. Then you only use hookers and cocaine. Yeah, right. That's the currency of rich people.
That's the order on the PO.
I'll trade you 5 prostitutes and half a bag of cocaine.
It's like CEO prison.
CEO prison.
Yeah,
CEO prison is basically Swedish prison. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah, but anyway.
Speaking of it, as a quick side note, that just reminded me of like the whole Saudi Arabia prince purge.
Oh, I heard about that recently. Yeah,
but it's funny because all the princes, like you said, that CEO prison.
Yeah.
all the princes are being locked up at the Ritz-Carlton. Which is
the Ritz-Carlton.
Yeah, which is one of the most highest.
They ain't getting no gitmo.
So why are they getting locked up in there?
Supposedly just because of it's
political
house
action.
Arrest.
It's a political action.
But supposedly it's like cleaning up corruption in Saudi Arabia.
Yes, by putting them in large fancy hotels.
Yeah, but at the same time, they can be seen as like a power grab.
That's what's going on.
Like eliminating all your enemies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but it's like, how can you? It's like their version of prison is one of the best hotel chains in the world.
Yeah. Great punishment. Lock me up in a full-service hotel.
Yeah.
Well, we usually send our criminals to
Mar-a-Lago.
Mar-a-Lago.
Being violated. Alexa.
If anything, and we're getting derailed again.
I want Coca-Cola, not Pepsi.
Sorry. But if anything, they should like kidnap him, like what they did in Old Boy.
Oh
yeah. Just lock him in a hotel for 15 years, and then one day just let him out and have no idea what happened.
Right, it's all good. And we'll go back. We'll go back to like the Take-Two and loot boxes.
Loot boxes, yeah. Let's get back to that.
Take-Two is pushing reoccurring transactions or reoccurring purchases.
Bite your tongue.
Yeah. I know this isn't really a loot box, but the Grand Theft Auto version of loot box is the shark cards. You guys play Grand Theft Auto 5?
Yeah. I do not actually.
Okay, so I don't know. Zephyl and I have played it a little bit.
I need to play it more.
And so the multiplayer runs on the same city, that you traverse in single player.
Yeah.
Just in a multiplayer state. So you explore the same places and everything. And so what happens is that you do missions and you get paid. Like things like you do a mission, you get like $10,000, right?
Yeah.
But to get a car, if you're not going to steal it, you have to buy it at like 50 G's, 100 G's.
See, it's weird because I'm playing Sleeping Dogs right now
It's
for the
similar
first
to that.
time.
Similar.
Well, yeah, it's that same area.
Yeah.
But I've never even thought about buying anything. I bought one motorcycle because I like motorcycles and Sleeping Dogs, but I steal everything.
Yeah,
I've never... Saints Row, same thing.
The plot and concept of Grand Theft Auto 5 multiplayer, they call it GTA Online, is that you're a newcomer that goes to I forgot, Los Santos, right?
Oh, Los Santos, yeah.
And then you have zero money and you're trying to make money so you can start your own empire, right? So the whole concept of the multiplayer game is to make money.
I wish a game like that would let us do a Nigerian prince scam. That would be pretty cool.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them to do that.
Launch your email launcher for today.
But anyway, what I'm getting at here is that to skip all the gameplay, if you want to get your yacht, your plane, all that stuff, you can buy shark cards in Grand Theft Auto 5. And shark cards are pretty much they come in $1 million brackets. So if you spend $10, you get 500,000. You spend $20, you get $1 million.
Rich people really have a different life.
So it's one of those things to it's not it's to me it's no difference than the loot box system. But in the loot box system, as we talked about in the previous podcast, has a form of gambling to it because you don't know what you're getting, right? So in this one, it's more like an expedited purchase for you.
Yeah.
You don't want to play the game, which is weird, so because you want it now, you don't want to work for it
now.
So they're calling it something that is called, by the way, microtransactions.
Yeah, either way.
Yeah.
But they're using that term. They are not going to be using that term because it's got a bad
negative connotation.
Connotation to it. They're calling it recurrent purchases.
So here's the thing: that I have to actually, after hearing about all this, I have to actually jump on the side of, these are microtransactions, these are recurring purchases, but they're not loot boxes. But it is still a disgusting, filthy casualization and example of DLC culture, and that's what it is become.
You guys can't see this right now, but dude right now is just ThatBastard is gagging in the background. He's
I'm over here making faces.
So I'm going to pick on Zephyl here for a second. So, I want him to play devil's advocate.
No,
I want you to defend microtransactions. Why would somebody want this?
Well, look at it from my perspective. I'm a family man. I work from 4 in the morning to 4 at night. I don't have time to go out and play, the game to get $1 million to buy a house or whatever. So if I do enjoy the game, I could buy it to save myself some time instead of like I said, I have zero free time right now to play any games.
What's wrong with that?
You are an impatient... Okay, we're still doing the devil's advocate thing, so I don't actually mean this for you, Zephyl, because I know you ain't a filthy casual. I know you're a good gamer.
Yeah.
So with all that stated... And I know this is also a PG-13, and I keep cursing. This is a PG-13
It's not
podcast.
PG-13 anymore because you're cussing.
Good.
Yeah.
Fuck you and fuck your impatience, because, oh my god, you can't tell me half an hour play a night, or whenever, when the kids are in bed, and you have that moment to play.
He does it, he's tired, he's sleepy.
Yeah,
but you still ain't going to be playing. Why are you playing the game anyway if you're tired? You're so tired. Go to a massage parlor. What are you even playing games? Stay off of my freaking server, you fucking casual.
Okay, so I'm going to play as the mediator here.
Why?
Why does that affect you, though?
It affects me because it creates a imbalance of power. If you can if I, who am putting in time, having fun with the game, playing the game, which is the point to a video game, yes, I find what you do as a casual offensive. Now, as a casual and as a business move, I will admit right off the bat, it's a good business move. It is.
Right.
It just is. But it still waters down and screws up a good multiplayer. And there are plenty of cases that I can point out. If I had known ahead of time we're going to do this, I would have brought links and information. But it is true. Multiplayers have been abandoned.
You can put it in the comments.
Okay, I'll probably just do that. Multiplayer games have been abandoned. Not only because of the newest game on the block, but because it was an unbalanced piece of crap. Because they started doing microtransactions and started selling stuff rather than letting people play. Give us our options. That's what I look at it. That's what makes good gameplay to begin with.
You got an option. You can buy it.
Yeah.
That's not an option.
or you can play it and buy it eventually.
See, that's an option. Play it and buy it. The whole point of playing
again,
it.
Though, it's my money. I get to spend my money.
No, you casual.
So, one can argue that you're just jealous that he's able to buy it right away.
No, I'm offended he can buy it right away. Okay. There's a difference.
So what I'm seeing here, as the mediator, for this conversation is that video games are pretty much turning into, at least in the multiplayer sense, are turning into a mirror of modern day society of the social warfare.
And isn't this why we play games to get away from that?
That's actually definitely good the way to look
Isn't
at
that
it.
crazy?
Too.
I mean, if you think about it, you have ThatBastard here hustling, right? working his ass off to get that plane in GTA 5.
And along comes some filthy casual who just $20.
Here I come around showing off my EP to everybody.
EP, yeah, that's what it is.
Buying $80 billion worth of shark cards.
It's literally Zephyl just walks up, smacks at me with $1,000.
Here, like you'll see me like a level 1 with like a $40 million plane.
So that's what I mean, and I feel like that in that culture in itself translates to real life.
But I need to point it out, though, is this not why we play games to get away from that? It is escapism. We're not playing games, though, just to get stuck in the same damn rut that we're in real life.
Yeah, but I guess the point I'm making is that if you have the resources, your life is easier for you.
Yeah.
Good. Keep it offline, then. Don't bring it on. Actually, that reminds me of one of the good examples I can bring up is that there's a couple on Final Fantasy 15, whatever the newest, 14, whatever the newest MMO of Final Fantasy is.
14.
Yeah, 14. They went through an entire server, bought up every single real estate. All the real estate.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And then they resold it.
Yeah, and there was a big to-do because nobody could afford it. Yeah. They literally gentrified this frickin' server. And so, yeah, and Final Fantasy themselves, Squeenix had to step in and say, what the hell? We play games to escape this shit.
Did Square Enix tax them? That'd be awesome.
I think they
right.
I actually don't know the outcome of that one, but
that would have been great.
I'll look up the link and throw
they should
it
have
to
been
you.
taxed, and then the money that used for tax distributed to the wealth.
You would distributed the wealth. You would think.
So trickle down economics.
Yeah,
trickle down estate tax.
Whatever, But anyway, you were saying.
So they're trying to do away with the Trump. Trump's newest tax plan is trying to do away with the estate tax, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you brought that up
because it benefits him, not anybody else.
Yeah. Exactly, him and his buddies.
Yeah.
Ugh.
See, I love how we integrate politics. And,
It's more like we just ended up screaming at each other in this episode.
I feel like this is like one of the podcasts like where everyone's kind of tired, so we're kind of going left, right,
that's just
up,
you.
down.
You're tired, bro.
You're tired.
Yeah, I got coffee on board, man.
Yeah,
So-
I had coffee earlier.
See,
Too,
So,
you should have coffeeed up, man.
well, excuse me, guys.
I got good bean. I can hook you up, bro.
It's all
Food
good.
co-op.
It's all good.
So anyway, let's just face it. The future of gaming is gonna be. There's gonna be a lot of multiplayer. It's gonna be a lot of online. And there's gonna be microtransactions or reoccurring purchases.
I hate that cliched phrase. Let's face it. Let's face it. That's the best you got.
What are you gonna do?
It's the inevitable.
I am
here's
disgusted by
the-
the fact that you're right. I am disgusted by the fact that you're
We
right.
talked about last time. We talked about games being a service.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is right now.
And if we can pull up the numbers, like I don't have it with it right now, but I can guarantee you, I bet you that GTA 5 Online has made more money times and times over again compared to the original GTA 5.
I pulled this up. On NY DD or something like that. It was pretty much the total volume of units sold.
Oh yeah.
On Grand Theft Auto 5. I think it was for 52 weeks straight. It's been top 10 or top 20.
Jeez.
On units sold. So if you can imagine, it's since launch, it's been 52 weeks in the top 10.
Wow.
And just imagine if each one of those individuals just spent $1 on the microtransaction. They're already making lots of money.
Yeah.
You're gonna have with what you'll find out with every big franchise or game series is you'll have your whales, people who will always buy stuff for that game or for that company because they love their stuff.
Special orders, the digital stuff, season pass.
Yeah, and those are the people who will spend the most money on loot boxes and microtransactions, stuff like that. So,
yeah,
that's the reality.
Yeah, but think about it, from a business standpoint, why wouldn't you do it? Like I told you last week, ethically, is it right? I don't think so.
Agreed.
Morally, is it right? I don't think so.
But it's going to happen.
But from a business sense, it's ingenious.
The other thing that I will also agree with is that we are going to go to a purely digital format, and I hate that personally as an old school gamer.
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah, this is just the wave. Let's just face it. We're getting old.
Let's face it.
We're resistant to change. I'm pretty sure the racist people were like, oh my god, colored people are getting rights. You know what I'm saying?
That was yesterday, dude. That's not even the 40s. That was yesterday.
But you know what I'm getting.
Yeah,
it's
yes.
They're resistant to change. And
well, yes and no. I honestly don't like it out of just purely principle because there's something to be said about cool special shit you get with like a special edition box.
Yeah,
There's something said about the old school. You remember Turbo Graphics 16? Remember that system?
Yeah.
It came with a game called Alpha Kid or something Kid in the Alpha Zones. It was this great game which had 2 features where
Keith Courage.
Keith Courage and the Alpha Zones, yes. And it came with a comic book. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I know what that game
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, when I was 13.
Know, unfortunately.
Oh, dude, it's old
Zephyl's a
school.
fetus.
I'm still a fetus over here.
Wow. Well, it was great, and it came with a great comic book.
What was your first console?
Yeah, what was your first console?
I had the regular Nintendo.
NES 8-bit?
Yeah, so...
I mean, I had that too.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, you know, I remember playing Duck Hunt, stuff like that. Then I got the SNES eventually. Then from that, I chose the N64.
Nice.
Then I didn't play anything till the PlayStation 3.
So you went like Nintendo until PlayStation.
Yeah, after the N64, my parents were like, "Video games are for the devil."
Oh no.
Yeah.
But what about the games where you fight the devil? No one ever talks about those,
Right?
Hexen or Doom.
Well, TG's the Doom. Yeah, there you go.
Wolfenstein.
Mom, I gotta defeat the demons.
Yeah.
No, John, you are the demons. And then John is a
At the
zombie.
same time, though, like, unfortunately, like I said, dude, like I used to be a big advocate, collector as well, like buying collector's editions, physical copies, stuff like that. But now it's like I don't have room to put them anymore.
People don't have space. I mean, as you can see, lots of shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, it's a social status amongst gamers.
Like, when you come into like my position too, when I have a family now, like
Well, I see it this way. He like Zephyl likes playing games, so all the material, physical stuff doesn't matter because he just needs to play the game. So to him, convenience is what's important.
That's exactly.
I'm of the same mind too,
for sure.
Yeah.
But like there are nerds out there like myself that appreciate like the artwork and all the other extra stuff that's been put in the game.
You got to get like a picture of all your boxes over here.
But anyway,
right here in the
like,
living room. That's beautiful.
And so that's why I appreciate collector's editions and special stuff like that because a lot of people like took their time to be like, I'm gonna make this character, like he looks awesome, so I'm gonna make it into a statue.
But at the same time, there's also the ones where they make crappy special editions purely for advanced copy for Patreon or Kickstarter or Indiegogo. It's terrible, and it's like, dude, why'd you even do that? Well, I hate to point out, but once again, the reminder box, the No Man's Sky special edition, Mighty Number 9. Has anyone ever gotten anything from that?
I feel like that part is totally different in other podcasts.
Yeah,
totally.
we should say that.
I think probably, I didn't invest in that game myself.
I didn't.
I think the only game I invested I think the only game I invested in was a game called Project Phoenix.
Yeah, what is
I
know you told me that. Is that game like just not happening anymore?
It's supposed to release in 2018.
You told me that in like 2014.
Right? it's probably like another Final Fantasy 15 debacle.
Yeah.
Well, I'll see it in high school. Then by the time I'm 35, it's finally out.
That's true though. I mean, to think about it, I was like, wait, was it 15 years for Final Fantasy?
It's some,
like 12 years, I think?
Something like that. I remember seeing the first
I was 24.
Game, the first initial gameplay when the PlayStation 3 was about to release.
Yeah. That trailer?
Yeah.
Whoa.
And I was like, man, this looks like an awesome Final Fantasy game.
Can you imagine telling your 12-year-old son that when this game came out, or it's like
I was your age when this game came out.
You were just a thought when this game got announced.
But that's also something and I don't mean to go completely off the rails, but this is something that we do need to point out. I love pointing out this kind of stuff because there's something generational. There's something that brings us together as family, as friends about video games, and I love that. I love the idea that when I have my future kids, who I will not name after either of you, I have my future kids, I'm going to be like, y'all, except in my case, I'm going to sit they punk asses down and tell them, you got to beat Atari games before you get NES 8-bit. No. You got to beat those games. You got to do what I did.
My rule is that you want to use the car, you got to beat me in Street Fighter 5.
That's it.
That's my rule.
You must defeat Shenlong before you even touch
But anyway, I think if we're going to go in a holistic, speakingly in a holistic
philosophical
way, and my rhetoric here is that video games are just kind of like the adventures we've had in the past.
Yeah.
Our experiences, and we share them through a shared common experience.
Yeah.
I think this is why, psychologically speaking and socially speaking, is that multiplayer games are very popular because every time you log on to that multiplayer, there's always a different experience for you.
And most of it has to do with dicks.
Yeah.
And then you share it with your friends.
Who are also dicks.
Because when you play a single player game, you may encounter a part of the game where you acted differently than your buddy.
True.
But that part of the game.
Yeah. Pretty much like a single player experience, not to interrupt you, or sorry for interrupting you, rather, it's like a static experience.
Yeah. it's on like a rail,
Yeah,
you know, like a track. So it's like, oh, I got to this boss, you know, I beat him doing this. And then Zephyl will get to this boss, but he beat him a totally different way.
Especially in open sandbox games. Consider Skyrim. Consider anything from the Elder Scrolls. I almost will guarantee you no two people have ever played an Elder Scrolls game the same way.
I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I mean,
same build.
One guy can play Elder Scrolls in like 20 million different ways.
Exactly.
Know? So that's the crazy part about that. But that's also, I mean, this is why it's kind of weird that they were going on this multiplayer route, because, and then, you know, the reoccurring transactions, because, like, Skyrim is a great example where, you know, right now we're calling it, they're milking it. But
they are.
But people
that's Bethesda, though.
6 years.
Here's the thing, though. It's like, if I was CEO of Bethesda and I'm like, people are still buying Skyrim? Well, let's just reprint it. You know what I'm saying? Like, why not?
Well, it's not like they build new engines for every Elder Scrolls. It's the same thing. It's been Gamebryo since Morrowind. Yeah. It's been Gamebryo since Fallout 3. And I know that's more of a conspiracy theorist thing, but come on. It's Gamebryo. Anyway, it's Gamebryo with better mods.
Yeah. But anyway, it's like...
And stolen mods. Yo, it just dawned on me. One thing we should have talked about. Do you realize that apparently, mind you, because I don't have the link with me right now, apparently, they're going to get rid of free mods for Skyrim. Unless you buy it through Creation Club, you are screwed. They're going to put out a patch. Now, once again, I don't have a link. I can't say this for certain, but it's one of those things where it's like, oh my god, and it sounds like something they would do.
You know what that sounds like? A reoccurring transaction.
Yeah.
Oh, nice,
Creation Club. Nice.
Tie-in.
Well, you know
once a good segue.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. So now we know that Skyrim is a single-player game. How do we make more money out of this? That is exactly a great example of that.
And actually, just dawns me once again that might just be a rumor, but it's still a vicious one.
I mean,
and it's too believable.
They've already tried it.
Yeah, I mean, Creation Club itself.
But knowing like Bethesda's practices and what they've done before, it's not surprising.
That's the thing. I mean, it could be fake as all get out. Some stuff I just caught today, but because it sounds like Bethesda,
I have this feeling like this, like Elder Scrolls 6 or whatever.
Argonia.
What is it now? I don't know.
I'd love it to be Argonia.
Anyway, like let's just say it's Skyrim 2, right? I have this odd hunch that there's going to be a stamina meter in that game.
There's always a stamina meter in this.
And then you can't refill it until 24 hours.
Oh my god, timed. Oh, no.
I have this hunch they're going to find a way.
Like Dungeon Fighters Online.
Yeah, they're going to find a way
fatigue system
to write in the story where your character gets too tired within the course of 24 hours. And it has to like regenerate and wait 24 hours to get it back.
You know what I do approve of, though?
Or you could buy his item.
Oh, yeah. I do approve of the idea of stamina replenishing food, though. I do. I love the hardcore DLC mode stuff. Yeah. Oh god, I wish not.
You know, and then the marketplace can be called like, you know, a haul. You see, like that's the thing. This is the same conversation that's happening in Bethesda right now.
Yeah. How can we better
make
money?
Can you imagine though? It's like they didn't think about that, but they heard our podcast.
Yeah,
that'd be terrible.
You know what? I want royalties. I don't care. I just want royalties.
Coming after you, Bethesda. You better remember us.
So anyway, speaking of shady business practices.
Oh god.
Jeff Kaplan, he's the director, lead director of Overwatch.
Yeah.
He actually defends the loot box system. He says it's healthy for the game.
Of course he would.
Which, you know, I actually agree with him because, you know, you just play the game and once you level up, you actually get a free loot box.
I have an example for you. You know, no matter how crappy the movie is, let's say Batman vs. Superman. You know, the people that... Batman vs. Superman was a terrible freaking movie. It was bad. It was lampooned.
In your opinion.
It was lampooned and parodied by everybody who watched it. You go to Rotten Tomatoes, it's got a low score. This thing's been destroyed. But the Ben Affleck and the other guy, Kravzel, the guy who played Jesus... You know, the guy who's Superman. They went on and it was the best movie ever, except for Ben Affleck. He had a 1,000-mile stare, but whatever. You know, the other guy was just Harvey Keitel.
What's your point, though?
My point is, if you're involved with something, of course you're going to say it's great.
Oh, you have to. It's PR.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
You know,
here's a really good example, though. Blade Runner did really bad in theaters.
I thought it did good. I've been just watching some stuff about it.
Critics love it.
Yeah.
But the numbers don't show that it did well.
Oh, it didn't pass the consumer reviews.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the people loved it.
What?
But monetarily, it didn't do well in the theaters.
Neither did the original Blade Runner, though.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So, is that a bad movie?
In that case, it's a cult classic, though. I mean, Blade Runner 1.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
how that changes perspective?
I guess
because Batman vs. Superman still sold a lot of tickets. But if you look at it from an artistic standpoint, it was not a good movie.
I'm gonna go out on a leap of faith and ask. I'm just gonna guess you liked the movie, didn't you?
I didn't mind it.
You know,
Okay.
with the kind of like devil's advocate, I could see Jeff's point of view that where it is healthy for him to have loot boxes because it's something to work for. Because imagine if you didn't have anything to unlock in Overwatch, that game would be dropped.
But also, isn't it a free to play?
It is.
Yeah, so
It's
it
not
makes
free to play.
sense.
You buy the game.
You have to buy it.
But at the same time, though, it's like if you don't want to buy loot boxes, they give you the arcade mode, which gives you a chance. You get, I know, at least 3 guaranteed loot boxes for playing arcade mode.
There's ways to get more loot.
Yeah.
boxes.
And I think like if you play like their game mode or like the Wii, you get additional two loot boxes.
And they do like double XP weekends. There's a lot of stuff like that.
So
I think the thing that differentiates Overwatch among the oceans of microtransaction games is that nothing can be really purchased like by itself.
You have to get it through the
money.
loot box.
Yeah, you have to get it through the loot box. Now, and it's random in the loot box. Like you don't spend $20 on the skin you want.
Yeah.
You have to spend $20 on the loot box to get that skin.
And hope you get the skin.
So I think that's what makes this game healthier because it forces people to play. That's exactly what we were just talking about earlier.
But wasn't there a kid who just got in trouble for something like that with CS:GO, where he spent like several $1,000s on his parents' credit card,
but
and they didn't
CS:GO
know?
also has like a marketplace for individual items.
Yeah, you have a point.
You know, and is that really CS:GO's fault? Or the parents' fault?
I would say both.
You know what I'm saying? I think because like there's been a lot of horror stories about kids spending like thousands of dollars on Apple games.
That or even FIFA.
Steam. Yeah,
You know,
FIFA.
so,
FIFA.
Some kid bought like $7,000 like worth of items on this like free to play like Apple phone game.
No, you have.
You know?
Grand Fate Order, Fate. Fate Stay Night, the Fate Grand Order, Fate Go.
Fate Grand Order.
Yeah. Pokemon Go. I would pretty certain people. So I get your point. I do accept that. I can accept that. I will concede.
Yeah, it's not about that. It's
no,
about,
you won.
No,
You
it's
won.
about the discussion. You know,
Yeah.
GQ,
Exactly.
you won. Accept it. You win. You
I
winners,
always
you-
win.
I always win.
Gilgamesh is my spirit animal. I
Calm
always
down,
win.
Mortal Kombat. Calm down.
Yeah, Shao Kahn.
Shao Kahn.
But anyway, yeah,
Gilgamesh.
I think that I can only imagine if you were actually able to buy all like the legendary skins in Overwatch, people would just buy it, and then like kind of just the game would stagnate in players, like in like people in like hours played, it definitely drop because they already have the thing they want.
There's still something that leaves a bad taste in my mouth, though. That it's basically just saying it's like a gotcha. You know, once again, it's kind of like Fate Go, where it's just you keep hitting that freaking hoping to get the jackpot over and over again, and you'll be spending thousands of dollars.
But here's the thing, like, since you don't play Overwatch,
Oh yeah,
and I love how you complain about it.
I know.
Is that if you get a duplicate, you also get money for that.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that part.
And then then all the skins are for sale in the in-game currency.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You can't buy in-game currency, by the
Yeah.
way.
So eventually, when you open up enough loot boxes, you get enough coins to buy like the skin you want.
So that actually is healthy.
So-
I would say that is a
Yeah,
healthy.
that's
thing.
what I'm saying.
That is
And
much more balanced.
What's kind of cool is that the fact that they made you get more money now every time you open a loot box, you get more coins, and your chances of duplicates now are lower.
That's actually very good in comparison to some
and it wasn't
ones.
that wasn't the case before. Like before, you can get duplicates all the time, but now it has like a smart loot system that if you have a duplicate, the chances of you getting it will be lower and lower. But
Yeah.
eventually, you will get duplicates because there's only a finite amount of items,
And everyone's going to want the new May skin or the Halloween. No, especially this year's Halloween skins. People lost their minds about May, the Jiangxi.
Symmetra, man.
The Symmetra. Well,
Dragon
Zenyatta. Zenyatta's drove everyone nuts.
The thing that the only real thing I don't like about Overwatch, the way their loot box system is that you're not able to unlock all the skins. It's like, for Halloween, you can only unlock it during Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those are seasonal things. You
Yeah.
want
But the thing is, like, what if I don't want to play this game anymore next year? What if something better happens?
You have a point there.
So
I think it's actually smart on their end because it's like maybe you saw those skin and you're like, you know what? I haven't played Overwatch for a while, but I really like that skin.
I want to jump in to get that skin.
I mean,
limited edition.
But the thing is,
establishes value.
I understand. Okay, that's a really good example, right?
Yeah.
But we're shifting control and power to Overwatch, not to the consumer. That's the part that I think Duder here is what's really upset about.
What?
We have less control within our game
yeah.
and they have more control over us when they do things that way.
But at the same time, though, I think if you made it available all the time, like I don't think there'd be a hook to get people hopefully people come back. Let's say if you can buy the Halloween skins whenever you want.
Well,
I might be like, you know what, I'll buy it eventually.
Not buy. I'm just saying available to unlock in the loot box.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like if that was the case though, I'd be like, you know what, it's not like a limited time thing. I could do it next year.
It just forces you to play during Halloween.
Couldn't you get during the Halloween event? Couldn't you use in-game currency to unlock the skins?
Yeah.
They're like triple the price too. Yeah.
But it'd be worth it though. Then just like what Zephyl said.
So you would play all year, and then when Halloween comes, you buy it.
Yeah, exactly. Like somebody who hasn't played in a while but has a crap ton of points can go, oh, I'm coming back because I want that May skin, baby.
Yeah, it helps add longevity to the game for sure. It's smart. But
I also agree with you, though. It does take away the agency from us.
Yeah. I mean, like, for example, what if Zephyl here is like, oh, I have another kid. I can't play Overwatch, but I want that skin.
Want that skin!
You know what I'm saying?
That sounds bad.
See how that, like, goes back to that?
Yeah. It's just you made him sound like a murderer. Like, you know how, like, certain murderers are, like, perfectly fine with their family?
You're crazy.
And then they go into the basement and it's like, give me your skin!
No, you're
Get in the bucket!
Okay, Leatherface.
Yeah.
It's Buffalo Bill. Wild Bill.
You'll come to know over time that Duder likes to go from 0 to 100 pretty fast.
Yeah. Fast and the Furious. Fast and Enraged.
And so the last article I have that I really wanted to share today was that this guy had an opinion article, and I love opinion articles because I hate your opinion. That is why I love opinion articles, because your opinion doesn't matter.
Op-eds are great.
I mean, with us too, our opinion doesn't matter either.
Yeah. Our opinion is exalted. You watch
but I
it
love
now.
telling people your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah,
right.
Our opinion is
an
great.
opinion, right?
No, but my opinion is excellent, though. Our opinion is worthwhile because I'm here and I'm involved. So
anyway, whatever. So this guy, man, I gotta look up this article because it's from this like bootleg website.
I like how you say it as you face away from the mic. Good job.
All right. So okay, this is from this bootleg website called HeyPoorPlayer.com.
Whoa!
I'll put it on the description for you. But this guy's opinion is that open world games suck. Right?
So does his mom.
So we're talking about games like The Witcher, Skyrim, Fallout, open world sandbox, GTA, stuff like
Sleeping
that.
Dogs,
where you don't necessarily have to do the storyline, by stages. It's like you have the option to do it whenever you want to.
Yeah.
So what is his complaint?
So his complaint is that there's too many of them. Right? It's like and I kind of agree with him on this. Yeah. It's like your game won't succeed unless it's open world, which I think is 100% horseshit.
Yeah.
But working at a retail store that sold a lot of video games, a lot of people come in and you go, do you have any open world games? So I understand why everyone wants that, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it sucks because if you want your game to succeed or your studio to succeed, I feel like you have to make an open world game, which sometimes it doesn't work out.
Well, the thing is, and definitely if you consider that, I can understand and I will agree that in every genre, you're going to get, for every Skyrim, you're going to get a Risen 3 Pirates. For every Fallout, that was your fault, by the way, I still hate that game. For every
Sacred 3, man.
Oh God, for every Fallout, for every Sleeping Dogs, for every Saints Row, you're going to get Bound by Flame, which is terrible. But I still beat the crap out of that game.
I didn't mind that game.
I still beat it up, but it was terrible.
Production-wise, it was pretty bad.
Yeah. And it was kind of open world. It was kind of open. But it didn't need to have an open world. So I can understand that complaint. But saying that all open worlds games suck, The Witcher 3, Wild Hunt,
he doesn't mean that it's a bad game. I think he's just, like I said, an opinion piece. He just thinks it's like the whole idea of like open world games being the hot shit right now. It sucks.
Well, maybe he should keep playing fighting games.
So they're just hating.
Maybe he should make his own game then.
Yeah.
And the crazy part was that this is why I say opinions don't matter. Don't take it so serious.
I know. I was trying to be like a bit of a dick.
Yeah, we're messing with you.
Anyway, his opinion doesn't matter. Of course, I get it. Anyway, there's people that come in the store and they look for open world games. Simple as that. And they don't play anything else, which drove me nuts. And I'm like, man, there's more games than just open world games.
What, like Morrowind?
It just sucks because people get on this one track.
Well, I think of it this way too. Like with a linear game, your path is like predestined for you. Like you can only move one direction.
Yeah.
Like you're kind of forced to go that way. You can't do anything else. Mm-hmm. With an open world, at least you have like that maybe like sense that you're in control. Like you dictate how the story goes in your opinion, or how the world goes in your opinion, and stuff like that.
I think I mean, everybody has their own idea.
Yeah, that's my thought.
My theory on it is that I think people don't want the pressure of like doing the story mode right away. So they're like, I want to do the story mode when I want to.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna go do this instead and just kind of waste time.
The moon is crashing down onto me, but I need to sell these herbs.
Cool. That like what I would like to see in the future. Say if you decided like to put off the story mode to do stuff that shit actually happens in the story. Like, you know, if you would have came here at this time, this town would have been saved.
That's funny because that's very Metal Gear-ish.
You know?
You know,
Which is an open world game.
Now that we brought this up, one of the tropes and concepts I've always wanted to play with as a game designer, if anything, yes, a game designer, is that you're not actually the hero. That there is a separate character that is the actual hero doing stuff, and you're just this guy, but it is going to fall on your shoulders for storyline reasons. Like, one of my favorite concepts is actually from a comic from Heavy Metal Magazine. This is back in like the mid-90s when I read this.
Late 80s.
Hell, well, no, the one I'm talking about is from the 90s.
Okay.
It's the same thing, Metal Gear.
Is it FAC?
No, but FAC is good too.
Okay.
I hated the movie. FAC 2 doesn't exist. Heavy Metal 2, the movie, does not exist. But no, it starts with all the NPCs are firing and the PC heroes are storming the castle, but then one soldier gets a lucky shot and kills like all three of one shot, and he goes, "Look, I killed them!" And they're like, "What are you doing, you moron? They're the main characters of the story. We're all firing on the other side on purpose." So the NPC goes on a quest to resurrect all three of the heroes, and he has to go through this huge quest, and he eventually does, and they're like, "Oh, look, it's a bad guy," so they bonk him, he's about to shoot him again, when he hits the ground instead, because he's learned his lesson. If you defeat the heroes, you must become the main character
That
of
sounds
the
like
story.
clever writing, if anything.
It was, and I've always wanted to see a video game version of that.
I feel like there is, and you can look at that up.
But going back to the whole open world thing, like my main grab with them is that I get bored eventually, like doing all like the side quests and stuff like that, where like I'll get fatigued from doing, you know, like X amount, save the mission.
You know what's a really good example of this? Is Inquisition.
You know,
so Dragon Age Inquisition. Have you guys? Has anybody in this room played this game?
I played like 1/3 of it, and then my PS3 crapped out.
Can you remind me?
Really? You don't know what
Dragon Age.
Dragon Age Inquisition is?
I know. I played one Dragon Age, but I don't know if it was Inquisition or not.
It was probably Origins.
It's the one where you have your hand that glows.
You can't fap with that hand. No, Dragon Age.
And you use it to seal like portals.
Okay, yeah, I did.
That's the third.
Yeah,
that's Inquisition. Yeah,
that's one with like the knight, right? That was like
they're all knights.
Yeah,
like the female knight who was like all like a bitch at the beginning.
Yes.
Okay.
Cassandra.
Yeah, Cassandra. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Wait, if we're talking about bitch knight, are we talking about Dragon Dogma or Dragon Age?
No, Inquisition.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm joking.
Dragon Age Inquisition.
I'm joking.
Anyway, so yeah, in that game, when you start off, you get your first open world area. It's called the Hinterlands, right? Mm-hmm. And my dumbass was like, I did all the side quests because I was like waiting. I wanted to level up my character to then do the main quest. And then for open world games, that's usually how I process these things.
Yeah,
I do all the side quests that's in my area. If they get too hard, I do the story, and then I move on. And then when new stuff opens up, I start doing that. You know. But anyway, my dumbass thought that was the only area in the game.
Oh.
So there were areas in the game that were like super high level. I was like maybe level 12. And there were like level 35 monsters. I was like,
oh, God.
Why is this so hard? Am I supposed to die right here? And then someone told me, they were like, hey, there's other areas. And I was like, what? There's more than one area?
You're not supposed to be there. What are you doing?
So I spent all this time messing around this big map that you have to there's like a fog of war and you have to go there to unveil it. So anyway, I spent probably like a good 12 hours on just the first area. And then because I didn't want to progress the story. And that's a really bad example because I wasn't having fun anymore.
If you were a video game journalist, you would have at that point in time compared it to Dark Souls.
I am a video game journalist.
Yeah, but that's true. Though, like you were saying though, it's fatiguing though because you have like X amount save X villager over here, or X amount saving closing the rifts.
Especially if they are the same quests.
I mean,
you only do so many fetch quests before
the
you're like,
best
screw
example,
this game.
I mean, I haven't really played Skyrim, but I'm pretty sure Skyrim has a lot. I've known people that have only done side quests on Skyrim.
Yeah.
And not the main story.
Which is actually my question for you guys. Now, here's something. Have you ever done, have you ever played an open world game where you accidentally got onto the main quest? Like, literally, you're just doing side quests and you're like, wait, is this the main quest? No!
I think it's pretty obvious when it's the main quest.
Sleeping dogs. No, I got caught by sleeping dogs. I didn't realize that...
We all played that, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, but no, I was doing mainly cop quests, and then I went and did one of the Triad quest or whatever, and I was like, wait, no, oh my god, this is obviously forwarding the gameplay. What are you doing? Wait, no, I want to go back and do side shit. Yeah. Saints Row is another one which it caught me on a couple times where it's like, wait, I don't remember this being on the main quest.
I think that's good then, so it's not as obvious.
I think I think what open worlds should do if they're going to do something like that is I love Destiny 2. Not the entire game, but the things they do right is the adventures. The adventures are small little things you could do on the side. Yeah. That gives you the lore and story of the world while you go do something.
I need to play Destiny 2.
And I think if open worlds could kind of incorporate that, say with The Witcher 3, as an example, if you're going to go hunt a monster, maybe as you're going towards finding that monster. There's a narration of what the monster is.
It does though.
It's background stuff like that.
Well, Witcher 3 Wild Hunt does that apparently.
For every monster you kill.
Yeah, when you go after bounties and stuff, because part of it is you're a monster hunter. So as you're tracking it down, there's clues, there's lore, there's all sorts of stuff to uncover. It's one of the reasons why it got going. And
then maybe we won't use The Witcher 3 as an example, but maybe other games.
But I dig what you mean. I dig what you mean.
So because I do if I want to be immersed, if you want me to be doing these fetch quests. Or these side quests or whatever, at least make it interesting for me to be more engaged and more oh, that's super cool. I never knew that.
Which is cool, yeah. Admittedly though, when I play these games, I specifically look for a CRPG type. I love perk systems and skills and abilities. I love the ability to break stuff down and Minecraft up some stuff. I was talking to you guys earlier. I'm a horde whore. I'm about that
stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I will hoard stuff I will pack away all the legendary stuff I come across.
Good thing you don't play MMOs, man.
Right? Oh, I used to. Final Fantasy 11 was my poison of choice, and I played 16-hour days sometimes in that fool, dude. And my mom's played it too, but we were on the same server, but we were in two different guilds. We never played together, except for a couple of times.
Alliance and Horde in World of Warcraft.
I was Horde.
You were Horde. Mm-hmm. For the Horde!
I was actually Alliance first, then I was like, these guys are bitches. And then I played Horde.
I've heard about how people switch in World of Warcraft just because their friends are in one other group. And they started off as Alliance, but then
and then
I go with whatever character I like. I played the vanilla one originally. I was like, but
you pick another character.
Yeah, then once the Blood Elves came out, I was like, Blood Elves are pretty cool.
So, yeah. I started out as a Night Elf, yeah. Then it went Blood Elves.
I need more stripper dancing.
I want my characters to look awesome.
Exactly, yeah.
Just throwing it out there, but we should really have an episode dedicated to MMOs at some point in time. Just saying. Yeah. There is so much we can cover on that.
We got lots of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree with this guy, Duder? What?
Oh, hell no, screw him. But, if you don't like it, don't play it. If you're more into Cuphead, go play that. If you want to play Bendy and the Ink Machine instead, or, I just played Yosemite for the first time recently. Dude, one of my favorite games to play on Steam is buying games for $1 and then never playing them. Getting $20 off Bundle Stars at Fanatical now and never playing them. So I finally played one of them, Yosemite, and I hated the crap out of it. But I'm certain there's some people who are into that kind of puzzle-solving game. I do like certain Match 3 games. But, I think actually all of us, certainly me definitely, I have a wide variety of games that I'm into. I'm not really into racing games, but I love Burnout. I'll play me some Burnout Takedown, and I will hurt your butt. I will make you cry. But, fighting games, RPGs, I'm about that life. But I'm not going to sit there and disparage a genre simply because I like it.
He has an excellent point over there. It's you have a wide variety of different types of games you can play, And at the same time, though, if you're not enjoying open world games, just don't buy open world games.
I don't like open world games because they don't hold my hand.
I think open world games have this special way of immersing the player.
Yes, totally.
Because you get to be involved in this world,
and explore.
And it is the closest we have to tabletop gaming, which I also like. I like me some Dungeons and Dragons. That's why I liked the original. Although I really hate the combat fighting styles. In fact, I tried to play Fallout 1 and 2 recently, and I'm like, why did I like this again? Fully 3. I'm just so used to 3, 4, and 3 in New Vegas, which is canon. Screw everyone who says it's not canon. But CRPGs are the closest you can get right now to tabletop gaming, and that is the Might and Magic stuff, Baldur's Gate, that kind of thing. Yeah.
What you Zephyl?
Yeah.
I honestly think, I do enjoy open world games, even though I do get fatigued out of them. But like I said, for me, it's just about exploring the world and seeing what I can uncover and discover, stuff like that. For me, if I'm in a linear path, I don't feel like I have like the chance to explore because it's like I'm in the box.
Yeah.
What's there to explore in the box?
But there's this really super cool world that you really want to know more about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have time for that? You're a family man.
No, I don't anymore. So, only in my dreams.
In my dreams.
I'm kind of like in the middle. I think it's one of those things like more the merrier. So I'm not gonna. If I don't like it, I'm just not gonna play it.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't understand. This is why I say your opinions don't matter. You know. That's what I'm saying. Like this guy is saying, it was almost saying like, hey, they shouldn't be making these games anymore. And I'm like, well, just don't play them, dude.
And I will admit this much, for all that I was just knocking on opinions and, I was also fluffing up mine and ours. I give you guys enough credit to say your opinion matters too. But, it's also the internet, so naturally, if he wants to have that opinion and throw it out there publicly, go for it.
I'm just joking.
No, I'm not. Well, yeah.
Air quotes.
Air quotes. I'm joking if that's where we're going with this, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, it's been a crazy week. I mean, loot boxes, microtransactions, these are all things you're going to be commonly hearing in the future because that's just the way the business is going.
You know what else?
Reoccurring transactions.
Well, you know what else you're going to hear about in the future? More people touching each other in Hollywood.
Yeah. It's just
there is so much scum and villainy going on right now. Freaking Mariah Carey apparently is getting sued for sexual harassment of a bodyguard of hers for like 2 years.
Not to downplay the whole sexual harassment thing, but I was talking to this girl earlier today.
Oh God, what?
And then I told her, I was like, hey, if I told you you're beautiful, are you going to say I'm sexually harassing you? She's like, no. I go, why? What's the difference? You go, oh, because I'm warranting it. Like she wants it, right? Because
you don't have your dick out when you're telling her she's beautiful.
But that's the thing, though. It's like it's not what you do. It's the situation.
Well, yes and no, because there is such thing as unwanted touching, and there's some people who don't.
Who said anything about touching though?
I'm not. I'm just saying. See, you're digressing from the point.
My bad. So catcalling versus actual.
Not even catcalling. It's a compliment.
Complimenting, yeah.
But it's like when does it cross that line? Like if I have a friend, and I tell her she's beautiful, that's a compliment.
Well, yeah.
But if I tell a stranger that and she just fucking hates me, that's sexual harassment, right?
Well, yeah.
So what's the difference? It's her emotion toward me.
Well, it's her knowing you versus not. A stranger, stranger danger. We teach kids that early on.
Well, that's not even the case, though. Let's say, but then if that's the case, it's like if I wasn't married and I saw a girl across the street that I was like, oh wow, she's pretty cute. I want to go ask her out. Like if I say, hey, give her a compliment, all of a sudden it's sexual harassment because like I thought she was cute and I wanted to.
The way I look at it, it's like this. If you come up to her and start, and this is that smoothness, if you come up to her and start talking to her, that's one thing. But if you're like, oh my God, you are so beautiful, I just want you to know that, people are going to look at you funny nowadays, and I would have even done that back in the 80s.
I feel like, to me,
It's also about intro and presentation, too.
That's a communication thing.
Yeah, you two are smooth operators. But you two both look good. So
but what I'm saying is that it's completely up to her to decide that.
Yeah.
Because, there's going to be, I always give this example. Like, if I were to do it to some super hot girl, it could be considered harassment, right? But if, Ryan Gosling did it to her and she's infatuated with Ryan Gosling, that's a compliment to her. Yeah. And we said exactly the same things, So this is why, I have a personal problem with this thing because, I feel like anybody could just say I got sexually harassed. Hell, I got sexually harassed. I got girls catcalling me in the street. 2 raunchy Mexican girls.
No.
But was I I'm gonna call the cops on you? No, it's just but also it's context. I understand if there's a...
That's the thing, is the context.
Because I love giving compliments.
Yeah.
I like saying, hey dude, that's an amazing shirt, oh lady, that's a lovely dress, or awesome shoe, that's fantastic.
I think what it boils down to is what you said, context.
Context, very much so.
But if you're an employer and, their employer is hitting on you, that could potentially be.
Yeah.
If it was okay, so here's the thing: I do subscribe to the ideals of professionalism while at the job. Which, if you look at my past, that's actually kind of there's been some complaints, but I'm just saying.
Being professional?
Yeah, I know. just putting it out there. But I'm not going to sit there and be
what kind of black magic is this?
Well, have you seen my shoes, my shirt? Right. For me, it's brown magic, please. So
Cocoa magic.
Cocoa magic.
Puff.
There you go.
Go down, baby. Wrong song. So I'm just saying, I'm not going to be going into my office unless our relationship is like that. I'm going to be like, oh my God, Sandra, yo, lady hump's looking good today. I'm not going to say that. Right. That would be considered sexual harassment. Yeah. But if I come in and we've already had established, she's all like, hey, I like your shoes today. I'm like, oh, a nice, hair comb today. if we're going to be on that level, yeah. And there is such a thing as crossing a line. Now, both in a good way and bad way. You might be crossing a line in a way that you're both comfortable with, and that's how both of y'all are expanding. But if you cross a line, they're like, hey, that was kind of uncalled for. You want to kick back a little? All right, sorry about that. And then never do it again.
So all it takes is one person being uncomfortable.
Yes. Once again, context. Always context. For some men, and I will mostly say men because that's the highest statistic of catcallers, are dudes.
Yeah.
And for some men, they think that's being a compliment. But, yelling at strangers from across the street, no matter what their situation is, I know I brought that up out of context. I apologize about that from earlier. But it's still there, though. The catcalling is something that it's like a stain on giving a compliment nowadays. You might think you're giving a compliment, but you ain't. Telling that you want to... I can't say that.
It's how you do it.
That too. Now, at the same time, it's like you pointed out, though, here's a good example. You could say a lovely poem in German, and it's going to sound like you're going to try and blitzkrieg their asses. You can say it in French, the same exact thing, the most dangerous stuff, and it'll sound like the most lovely poem ever, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, it's also how they take it as well. So how they take it, how you do it, communication. That was a ramble. That was a rant. I'm sorry. That was rambling.
All right.
I think I hit a Zephyl level.
You must love Kevin Spacey.
Nope. Or Charlie Sheen, who apparently raped Corey Haim or Corey Feldman when he was 13.
Yeah, that's no good.
Yeah.
No good. It's okay, he's gay.
No bueno. No bueno.
The deflection. Oh my god. We talked about that last podcast? We did, yeah. Oh my god,
it sucks
because
I really enjoyed Kevin Spacey, and I still do. I think this is why we need to stop celebrating celebrities.
Stop worshiping celebrities. What we need to do. But the problem is that's what makes money.
Yeah.
So people are brainwashed. People have been brainwashed since the 20s into this mess.
Here's the thing. It's now that Kevin Spacey's on the spotlight for all this sexual harassment, there is not going to be any more House of Cards.
Well,
they canceled it. They fired him.
They fired him, yeah. But
they fired. The last time I heard, they stopped production.
Yeah.
Well, no, but that's the thing. This was the last season anyway, and I'm hearing a lot in the background about, once again, Carrie Underwood, the chick that plays the vice president, of her stepping up as the main character until the end of the season. There's also a rumor about not John Goodman, but somebody else stepping in to replace Kevin James. That was it. Yeah, it was Kevin James.
Terrible.
Yeah, that would be also a terrible replacement. I'd rather see Carrie Underwood.
She's a clown, dude.
Yeah. He's Paul Blart for the love of freaking
I know.
Christ.
I wouldn't be able to take him seriously, especially after Spacey's performance.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be able to.
Spacey is a great actor, but he is scum. He's not as bad as Harvey Weinstein, but Harvey Weinstein uncorked a whole. He let the genie out the bottle when that mess happened.
I'm not letting Kevin Spacey slide on his crimes, But,
I understand.
But as a actor, the art,
he's a wonderful actor.
He's a fantastic actor.
You got to give him credit for that.
Yeah.
He's a great actor, terrible human being.
Yeah,
that's how you have to split that up, So, unfortunately, probably won't work in Hollywood as frequently. I don't know. Some people may look over it.
He's been sacrificed. But let's not also forget when Mel Gibson when Mel Gibson screwed up.
Yeah, but he started doing his own thing though.
True.
He was just all right, you guys are going to help me? I got this.
But America has a very bad victim complex. And I don't mean the normal snowflake-triggered Republicans complex. I mean Chris Brown, for instance. You know where I'm going with this. Beat 5 Shades of Grey off of Rihanna.
Yeah.
And yet 1 year later, his fans cried out to him and accepted him. And he cried on stage.
I remember that. Girls were defending him.
Still, yeah, it is the worst.
So crazy.
That's a thing. That's a scary thing about fangirls and fanboys.
They'll just
fandoms.
Like you said, the fandom base in general. If their hero or celebrity icon, celebrity worshipped, did something bad, they
just look over
it.
Greased lightning. They just grease all over it. And it's terrible.
Well, Chris Brown ripped that girl up? She probably deserved it.
She was probably asking for it.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, when Usher pissed on that girl...
was it Usher or was it R. Kelly?
No, it was R. Kelly. My bad.
Man.
I thought it was... Do all black singers sound the same to you, Thomas? Yes. ThatBastard. From Bellingham, the darkest person in the room. So... But when R. Kelly peed on that girl, she was 16, she could have moved, but at the same time, he still peed on an underage minor in most states.
Here's the thing:
so...
he may have not intended to pee on that girl.
Oh my god!
No, I'm just looking from a legal standpoint, right?
Yeah.
But he peed on that girl. That's how you have to look at it. Yeah. It doesn't matter. Ignorance doesn't save you from your crime.
Now, I will say this much: ignorance should save you And I'll put this out there, because people do this all the time. Teenagers do this all the time. If you come across somebody at the club, and you take them home, you don't check ID, you do check consent. I agree with that. Yeah, you check for consent. Consent section.
Check ID too, just in case.
But remember, like, the law is blind.
Yeah,
they're not going to take in consideration, like, you know what I'm getting at.
Actually, I binged Californication, like 6 months ago. A great series. David Duchovny. I pray he is not part of the scum and villainy of Hollywood, because he is a wonderful actor. But the series starts with him accidentally sleeping with like a 16-year-old that he met at a bookshop that was checking out his books.
Oh, so is that your dream? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying, as long as if I check your ID,
great series.
If I get your
starts with a bang.
If you're 16, if I check your ID and you're 16 and I get your mom involved, parental consent and involvement is thoroughly in there.
What a great way to end the podcast. That's crazy.
Mommy-daughter sandwiches. I've had two.
What's everybody playing right now?
My knee-jerk response was with myself.
Too, but I'm interested in picking up Fortnite.
Fortnite.
You are tired, bro. we can tell from here, man.
Fortnite, but the battle royale one.
It's free. So
yeah,
you can just play it.
Yeah.
So I'm currently playing on again, off again, Sleeping
Settlers
Dogs.
of Catan.
What? No! Although I don't mind. Catan's good if you got a party going on, I'm just saying. But I've been playing Sleeping Dogs, but that's only because my New Vegas copy, my PS3 screwing up. It hasn't glitched in years. I've had really great runs of New Vegas, Fallout 3, and Scrim, but for some reason, the past month, ever since I got hella into cryptocurrencies and I'm staving off the Fallout 4 craving, because I don't have a PS4. I'm broke as all get out. Y'all know this.
Yeah, it's all good.
But,
that's why we're here.
But my New Vegas is now glitching, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Plus, I'm doing
Bethesda!
They're gonna microtransaction you for fixes.
Oh, I couldn't help to notice you're enjoying your game in New Vegas there.
Here's your reoccurring transaction.
Wouldn't it be a messed up situation if you had to do some patch work that we accidentally secretly glitched your game out?
I feel like a little Clippy is going to come out. And like, hey, I noticed you're glitching.
Why don't you buy this patch?
Yeah, right.
$2.99.
Click here.
I might actually spend $2.99 just to unglitch this damn thing. The way I'm looking at it, if everything works out in the next month, I'll get a PS4 and play Fallout 4 then.
What do you call this?
PS4s are pretty cheap now.
Save your save and then reinstall the data.
I've already done that. I literally have already done that.
Right, well,
I've restarted twice doing this Midnight Bomber, What Bombs at Midnight run. Because I love
maybe
explosives.
It's just bugged.
It might be. And it might be just explosives. I haven't retried it with guns or... Usually I'll play... If I'm going to do New Vegas, I will almost always do the same build. Hand-to-hand, melee... the Slayer perk, melee build. And then I'll just, however I wish to go about it, usually lightweight equipment. And I just go body... I fist the North Star, everything, so... Right. Do you a shock? Yeah.
Well, let's see. I'm right now, I don't think I'm playing anything that is remotely interesting to anybody. But I did try Nightmare Princess Deception 4. Anybody played that here?
No.
That's
do you guys even game? Jesus.
I don't.
Since I became a family man,
go home and be a family man.
Anyway, it's really interesting. It's actually based off the Deception series, which started on the PlayStation 1, and it's about you being the devil's daughter. And what happens is that adventurers come into your castle trying to kill your dad. So, and then the castle's set up where you can lay traps everywhere. And you trigger
kind of like Dungeon
trap.
Keeper.
Kind of like that,
yeah.
And the daughters are sadists, right? They have weird traps where they beat people up.
Yeah, there's three daughters. There's one daughter is all about humiliating you. So all the traps are troll traps. One of the other traps is sadistic. So there's Iron Maidens, sickles and stuff like that, decapitators. So it's very Japan.
It's very Japan.
All the girls are super slender and hot.
Kawaii.
Yeah, and very lewd, which is great.
Don't look at my panties,
Love it.
Oni-chan.
Yeah, but anyway, check it out sometime. Deception 4, Nightmare Princess on PS4.
Is this a Shin Megami Tensei game? This isn't very Persona of you.
No, it's not. But...
I remember the last game I played like that was on my PS Vita. I was PSP. Was Conception 2.
Oh yeah.
Conception?
Well, you have to make babies to fight. You use them to fight them.
This sounds way more cooler than XCOM.
What it is, it's actually I would say it's a more lewd version of Fire Emblem. Because Fire Emblem, like you pick a partner, like you develop a bond with them.
Yeah.
And then your bond, then you make a kid, and the kid becomes a new character that combines the two like classes you have. Right?
Yeah.
So in Conception,
this is like a looter version of that.
Yeah, in Conception, they call them star children.
Oh my god!
So like you like make babies with these like girls that you pick, and then the kids are what you use to attack the mobs.
There's something to be said about games that let you play the bad guy. Games like Deception, like you just brought that up, Dungeon Keeper. Yeah. But even more so, I want to bring it up. Dragon Age Origins had one of the best DLC packs I've ever seen in my life, where you play the bad guy. You play as one of the Vanguard creatures, Dennis Dark Soul, whatever the hell they're called. Yeah, you play as one of them in the DLC.
Oh, you're talking about Dragon Age 1?
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins, the original.
Okay.
The first
you play
one.
as Darkspawn.
Yeah, Darkspawn. You play as the Vanguard Darkspawn, and it is the best thing ever. The ending of it, I stood up and
just
went,
died.
Oh! Like I never,
because it was at the gates, right? Like,
yeah, and it was basically they lost. The good guys lost. The bad guys won. Up above, you the Dragon God roaring its victory into the air, and all you see is from the camera's perspective, from what's his face is the Alucard, whatever the guy, the one Brosa from Dragon Age Origins. He's just looking up as the Vanguard stomps his face in. I love that angle. Just everything about that. I stood up and went, darkness forever! I turned into Skeletor playing that game. I'm like, yeah, how dare you! Like, kill them all, men! I turned into Cobra Commander. And it's weird because normally my persona is chaotic good. I'm a chaotic good person. The difference between a chaotic good and a chaotic evil character is the chaotic good will sell the baby, the chaotic evil will eat the baby. They both light everything on fire. So
for the better of humankind.
For the better of their goals. So I'm just saying when it comes to personal goals and such. So, but for some reason, certain games like that DLC turn me into freaking Cobra Commander. Yeah, shoot them with your lasers.
Why does Cobra Commander sound like Skeletor?
That's my bad accent. I can't do voices.
But anyway,
right
on that note, does anybody else want to add anything before we end up the podcast?
No, but if you guys ever want us to talk about anything or have any suggestions for what we can do better, please leave us a comment.
Screw that. We're doing great.
Yeah, for sure. If you want more podcasts, let us know what you guys want us to talk about. Give us a comment. You can reach us. You can reach me at least, GQAzndood at Twitter. I have a Tumblr blog that I talk about my gaming adventures and also the stuff I encounter on the podcast I start talking about. I'll leave the links in the description below. And ThatBastard, how can they get a hold of you?
You know how to get me. You know the damage I've come to do. Look me up. Just Google up Thomas Duder, author of the things. Google up Anubis Unit. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us at www.anubisunit.com. My recently relaunched www.thepenismysword.com. And from there you can find all of my links everywhere I'm at, from Steemit to Twitter. I gotta point out, though, you'll probably get me more on Facebook, on any of my pages there, or on Steemit nowadays. I am hella about Steemit. Like I said earlier, I've gotten recently into the game of cryptocurrency, and this is actually quite a game. This is actually quite a thing, and I'm loving it. I once almost became a stock market trader for the same reasons, and I never really got into the stock market because unless you have the money to get, it's no longer a situation. Correct me if I'm wrong, please feel free to do so. But it doesn't seem to be the situation where I can just go in with a couple of bucks and steamroll it into $100 or something, But I can with crypto. So, yeah.
Okay.
Find me.
He's like the herpes of social media.
I am.
You can't get rid of him. He's everywhere.
I am. And you'll find me on your face.
He's the gift that keeps on giving.
I am.
Every year.
I'm Krampus, though. I'm not Santa.
But anyway, to all of my Bellingham fans, to our Bellingham viewers and listeners, thanks for your support. If there's specific topics you want us to talk about, local stuff, let me know. Drop me a message on my Facebook, on any of my social media.
We should consider guest stars in that case.
Yeah, and if you want to be on the podcast, let me know as well. And you're more than welcome to talk about your useless opinion about stuff.
Get on here and argue with me.
All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for listening. That's another episode of GQAzndood Gaming Podcast. Wrapped up. I'm all lost for words here. I'm all hyped up. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Much love. Ho, ho.
Later.